it's Margaret here from Well Coach. We are here on another round of Ask Me Anything questions. This week the theme was courage and courage in leadership, courage as individuals, whatever it was that you were facing or you were curious about and had questions about. So, thank you for your questions. This week, I'm just focusing on one. I had a question come through on LinkedIn, and I thought it was something that I could really talk about. So we're just going to focus on one question this week. So sit back, enjoy your cuppa if you've got one with you, and let's get into it. Okay, so this is a really big question and a really, really good question, and I thank you so much for sending it through to me. Um, yeah, how did I find the courage to leave what I was doing? I'm going to be really honest. It was a journey. It's been a journey for me. When I when I was first approached 4 years ago to leave my full-time role that I'd been in for nearly 15 years, I was anxious, I was worried, I didn't know what it would look like, if I was even good enough. I had all the feelings of imposter syndrome going around, and I had sat down with my husband and we talked about it, and I sat down on my own thoughts. I went through, like the good and the bad. I kind of did that inner thinking about, okay, so what is my purpose? What do I want to do with my life, and what can I give back to the community? Tying it back to ikigai and things like that. And that's when I kind of went with, do you know what? I'm going to take this opportunity as an experimentation. It could go completely wrong for me. It could be terrible. I might fail abysmally, but I'm never going to know if I don't just give it a go. And it was the first time I had kind of gone, do you know what? I think I want to try and do something that's really, really unknown, and it could have dire consequences to to our house. I talked with my husband extensively before I did this. I couldn't do this without thinking about the implications to my family as well. We were, would this what would happen if I went in contracting for a while and then my contract got suddenly terminated? I would be without any income. How would that look? What would we do financially? And so we kind of went through all of that. This wasn't a decision that I made on my own. I had to sit down and talk with my family about it, and then it was just when I sat down and I talked to the person who had asked me to go contracting. When I sat down and I actually talked with him and talked about the final piece, like, was I good enough for this? He was my big supporter there. He was the one who said, "Do you know what? I wouldn't have reached out if I didn't think you could do it." And sometimes it's just having that person, that believer, that person who can stand on the sidelines and cheer you on and go, "Hey, you've got this no matter what." And I just needed that. Um, and I was so fortunate that I got to work with some really amazing, awesome people, and did that 4 years with that company and finished off that. And then back in early March this year, when I finished up my time with that company, I needed to take a break. I could see in myself that I was getting tired and run down, and all the things that I support others through, I was starting to feel that way. And and in all honesty, I was at the point in my life where I kind of went, I don't know if I want to go back into full-time employment. I've tried full-time employment. I've done it for many, many, many years. um, I have now done the contracting thing as well. What is it that I want to do? with my life? What's my purpose in life? What is it that I truly want to do? Where's my calling at? And I was at the point where I thought about actually just throwing it all in. I went through that process of going, I don't know if I actually want to do coaching anymore. And I talked with my husband again about it, because this is a big decision, and whatever I do it impacts my whole family. And he said to me at the time, don't rush any decision. Don't feel that you have to have all the answers right now. And so I didn't. I sat with it for a long time. I sat with it. I took the girls on a trip to see their grandparents. I came back from that, trip and had such a clear head. And it wasn't the being with my family. For me, it was the trips that we did to the beach and seeing the beautiful sunsets and just the peace, and just being able to have that conversation internally with myself about if I felt that I could do what I'm doing. And I came back and I talked to my husband, and I talked to the people that sit at my table, and I kind of went, well, what would it look like if I did this for us? Is it going to be easy? No. But is it going to be fulfilling for me? Yes. How am I going to feel if people don't like what I do? Well, it's okay, because I'm not going to be everybody's cup of tea, and I know that. And I think what was really important for me is that I had to go, do you know what? I offer something that is different. You will find lots of people and lots of coaches out there, I'm sure. Not even I'm sure, I know. There are so many coaches, and on this journey, I have been so blessed as I'm growing my social media capabilities. I have been so blessed to meet so many wonderful female coaches around New Zealand, and have been so inspired from them and what they are posting in their stories, that it's helped me even firm up even more that I do fit in this space. What I offer fits in this space. My experiences, my knowledge, my human side that I can offer to people, that's kind of what led me down this space. Yes, there is a lot of things that I've had to do in the back end. Like I've had to go down the path of having the conversation with my accountant around, well, if I want to do this, what does it look like? And do I have to create a business? And, trying to understand create a company, I should say, and trying to understand all of that side of things. Marketing myself has been a new learning curve for me. I've worked in companies where you have a marketing team and they do all that work for you. I have a huge appreciation for the work that they do now after having to go on that journey myself. I have tried to find efficiencies where I can. I was digging holes, and there were so many things that I was thinking about, and I had post-it notes everywhere, and I kind of went, why am I overdoing this for? So I've definitely been simplifying things for myself. I've been going back to what I know really well. I have been bringing in all those good practices that I teach teams, that I coach other people to practice as well. And they helped me to kind of settle on what I wanted to do. And just in the last 2 weeks I gave myself, a good 6 weeks to kind of experiment with this and see what it looked like. And I had that conversation with my husband and said, okay, give us I'm going to give it 6 weeks. I'm going to try this for 6 weeks. I'm going to see what it looks like, how it feels, if it resonates with me. If in 6 weeks' time I'm not feeling it, or if things aren't good, we're just going to I'm not even going to pursue it, and we'll go down the path of me going and looking for full-time work again. And he was wonderfully supportive, because he said to me, don't give up. This is your thing. So I'm very fortunate to have him in my corner and support me so much. And so, yeah, all of those things, doing everything, having those supporters, going out there and experimenting with it, being brave, putting myself out there for other people to see, with, you know, photos of my headshots and telling my story, and everything that you see is me. If you've ever worked with me before, you know that this is me. This is my one authentic self. I learned nearly 2 decades ago to take the monkeys off my back, and that it's so tiring when you have to have so many people, or so much armor, and you have to show up as a different person for different people, and I didn't want to do that anymore. And so I've been very firm in my intent and what I wanted to do with this experiment, and I have been reflecting, and I have been coming back around and to see if it's sitting within my just cause and my purpose, and isn't breaking my values or anything like that. And all of that has been what has driven me to have the courage to just continue going on. So yeah, that is a long story, and that's probably a lot. So hopefully that has answered your question. Hopefully what I have said makes sense and doesn't sound crazy. And yeah, I thank you for taking the time. Like I said, I'm only going to do one question this week. That one is a really big question and it's quite heavy for me. So I really wanted to I appreciate the questions that I got from other people as well. I'll reach out to you individually to answer the question for you. But yeah, thank you very much for your question. I hope that there is something there that helps you be brave and you have the courage to try something new. Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for stopping by. I will leave it at that. Watch out for my video next week asking for the next round of questions. I can tell you that the theme is it's going to be another themed one. So watch for that coming out next Tuesday. Other than that, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for liking and subscribing. Yeah, I'm Margaret from Well Coach. Discover your potential.